talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to This Week in Marketing, brought to you by the San Diego chapter of the American Marketing Association.
All right, welcome back to the third segments of This Week in Marketing. I'm your host, Sam Wheeler, and we've got Bill Wynn, my special co-host today, talking about Art of Marketing 2019. We got a really special guest here. Bill, you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. So joining us in studio now is Michael Farrington. Michael is the Vice President of Global Marketing at NuVasive, Inc. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you for having me here.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you making some time for us. So Michael's another one of those people that we met through the State of Marketing report, and also came highly recommended by the team that organized that. And so we're grateful that he said yes when we asked him to deliver a keynote for us. So thank you, Michael.
You paid me a lot of money, so I'm in.
If only. And I'd be first in line, by the way, if that were true. So Michael's talk is staying relevant in marketing, understanding the art and science of changing your customers' behavior so you can win. And this is going to be great, I think. And I know that because Michael spoke at our State of Marketing event this year, which was a few months ago, and said some pretty interesting things that I think resonated with our audience quite a bit. And so we'll kind of reflect a little bit on one or two of those things here today, but also I think his talk at Art of Marketing will be infused with some of those same ideas. It'd be really thought-provoking and fun for the marketers in the crowd. So, Michael, maybe give us a little background kind of on your career and also on kind of what NuVasive does.
Yeah. And I guess, by the way, the first step is I have to remember how long that title is so I remember what the heck I'm talking about, because that is not a short title. So
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. So background about me, 15 years in marketing, last 13, 14 specifically in med device, lead the global marketing organization for NuVasive. We're a $1 billion medical technology organization that tries to focus on how we deliver disruptive innovation to solve back pain, which is a huge issue for a lot of people. Background before that was with Becton Dickinson, $12 billion organization. I had about a $2 billion segment with them before. CareFusion, ran global brand for CareFusion. We were a spinoff from Cardinal Health. And then actually before MedTech, background was in interactive agencies in LA. Started one kind of from the ground up out of the third floor of my college dorm room, hence the name Third Floor Media. And so I've got an interesting background of some B2C, specifically in the entertainment automotive industry, and then on the total opposite end of the spectrum here in B2B and med device.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about your kind of before we get into the specifics of your keynote, right? So let's talk a little bit about your philosophy in terms of marketing, right? Where your mindset comes from, as you go to work every day.
Yeah. So a couple things, and good question. I have two things that drive me every day. Number one is the fear of becoming irrelevant. And I think as marketers, too often we get caught up in just churning and trying to keep a pace. And I don't think we stop to take a step back and reflect, how will I create relevancy? Not just for me, but my team, my brand, my segment, my customers, driving relevancy. And the second piece for me is, in doing that, we should earn a seat to be at the table, to not just be part of decision making, but to make decisions happen. And I think, again, too often marketers, we haven't earned a seat at the table. We become a service-based organization that just says yes to whatever the CEO wants, whatever the head of sales wants, and we aren't driving decisions. And so those two things for me keep me up every night to say, how do I keep relevancy to earn a seat to drive changes for my organization?
Yeah, and both of those things were very much huge themes in that State of Marketing report we did this year. And I think that, marketers, if they view themselves as a value center rather than a cost center, right? I think kind of that's where that seat at the table
Absolutely, I think that's spot on.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about your keynote. What can we expect there April 5th at the Marriott Del Mar?
Yeah. So my goal is to make this as practical as possible. I feel like for me, I learn the most when I can walk away from something with specific ideas, programs, tactics, implementation guides for me to take something and go drive it in my organization. So I'm going to go through 5 things in my talk, and it follows a simple framework I use. For those of you that love and follow the Prophet online with Marcus Lemonis, every single thing he says I think is gospel, and I live by the idea of people, process, and product. And so I'll walk through that framework on how I'm driving that at NuVasive. Probably the most critical step of my process building actually comes from an AMA board member and his philosophy, which is Bernie Jaworski. He's the chair of the Peter Drucker School of Management up at Claremont McKenna. His new book that was published by the AMA goes through driving organic growth in the customer buying process. And that's something we have implemented the last year at NuVasive. Do we truly know how our customers buy? That waterfall effect of kind of points in that buying process where our customers choose us or don't choose us, and how do we influence those decisions to drive high yield behavior for us to win? And because at the end of the day, for us to be relevant and to have a seat at the table, our customers have to choose us. We have to win. So that buying process for me is probably the most critical work we do now every day at NuVasive.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us an example of that buying process in action?
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a great one from the book, and I'll make sure at the conference I share one about NuVasive as well. But Bernie outlines a great story. I've heard him tell it many a times, where he was brought in by a major cosmetics brand around the world, a multi-billion-dollar cosmetics brand, and they tasked him with trying to look at how they reposition about a $500 million cosmetics brand. And when he was brought in, the assumption in the brand was to either go heavy in social media or to sign Justin Bieber to be a spokesperson for the brand. And again, this is a cosmetics brand focused on specifically 12 to 14-year-old girls. So I don't know if you two are experts in cosmetics for 12 to 14-year-old girls.
Working on it.
Yeah, working. Well, I'll help you here. So a couple interesting things. One is they don't spend more than $12 anytime they buy. They usually shop in groups of, they call them packs. Saturday mornings with 2 or 3 girlfriends. They usually buy at CVS or Walgreens. They don't buy at Nordstrom or Neiman's Marcus. And when they studied the behavior, they found some interesting things. And again, when they were brought in, the assumption was 2 big investments, either heavy in social media or sign Justin Bieber to endorsement deal, right? Two logical things that you would say, oh, that makes sense for a young girl's cosmetics brand. They found out that more often than not, the biggest influencer of a buying decision for a 12-year-old girl on a Saturday at CVS was whether or not she had an unbelievable experience touching, feeling, trying, sampling the brand at point of purchase, okay? So long story short, and it's in the book, and I'll maybe touch on this story a little more at the conference because it is a practical example. They put every single dollar towards building the most robust, engaging display case at CVS. They took every other dollar from every program, social media endorsements, digital marketing automation, and drove it all to one single program. The reason why is you would assume, again, social media and brand ambassadors would drive people to the store. So this brand said, let every other brand drive people to CVS. Why? Because the data shows that once they walk in the door, no matter how they got there, if they have an amazing experience at point of purchase, they will choose us, right? And so the question is, do we know how our customers buy? And if so, what high yield behaviors do we need to focus on that if we take a disproportionate amount of spend and put it on high yield behaviors, will we win more often than not? And the answer is yes, but we've got to trust our gut. And I'll also touch on this at the conference, and I fell in this camp for a long time. Bad marketers want to do everything. Bad marketers want their funnel filled with every single tactic. They want to go to their CEO and say, I have a long list of all these things we're trying to do, and I'm doing a lot of things. That means you don't know how your customers operate.
And especially shiny things like social media.
100%, right? I actually got into this. I was in Spain 48 hours ago running our international global sales meeting.
No wonder you don't have your wits about you.
Exactly. And I got this argument with our head of Australia around how we need to spend more money on social media. And I said, I am glad every other competitor is doing that for us. because the data does not show that results in more sales. So let our competitors waste money on social media in Australia.
Yeah, and I think that's the really I think the most lasting takeaway from your participation at the State of Marketing was, when you talked about every step in the buyer's journey. I don't want to win every step, right? I just want to win the 2, 3, or 4 most important ones.
100%. And that is totally counter to everything we've been counseled as marketers, right? We're told, again, know your funnel, fill your funnel. What activation are you driving at every step of your funnel? And the reality is, I don't want now knowing what I know, I don't want to have a tactic at every step of my funnel.
Yeah, well, you can't afford to.
100%, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I assume most marketers aren't just getting endless amounts of budget right now, right? We're getting money taken away. And the reality is, if we know our buying process better and we activate the funnel better and we know our customers' high yield behaviors, we'll get more money over time, and we can demonstrate the behavior that we know how our customers buy, and we drive high yield behaviors.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm very much looking forward to your talk at Art of Marketing. I really appreciate you joining us this year and also joining us for this preview show.
Absolutely. I don't take the invitation lightly, and I look forward to the event.
Yeah, so it should be fun. So again, Michael's talk is called Staying Relevant in Marketing, Understanding the Art and Science of Changing Your Customers' Behavior So You Can Win. I don't think we should edit it down. I think it's just good, just as it is.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Let's add to it, actually. Let's make it longer.
All right, we'll see you there. Thank you, Michael.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Okay. We'll be right back with more This Week in Marketing.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple, and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com, on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID Communications.